Okay, well, welcome to the TravelMole COVID-19 special interviews, and I'm delighted this morning to have one of the UK's favourite short-haul destinations is Malta, and leading our interview today is Tolene from Malta. She's the big cheese here in the UK. Welcome, Tolene.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Graham. It's lovely to be here.
No problem. Well, Malta is obviously an absolute prime example of how to handle a COVID-19 pandemic. It's been mentioned in all sorts of places, the World Health Organization, you name it. Malta has been heralded as what to do when you are faced with a problem like this. Is that helping you in terms of opening your markets and opening up in the future?
Yes, it is. I think we, as you say, we've done really well with managing the virus, and we shut our borders pretty quickly. And from there, we've kept the quarantine in place. Even when we did close down the borders, we had the quarantines in place, and that is currently in place until the middle of June. But the ban on commercial flights is still currently in place as well. And yeah, I think that the crisis has kind of put us on the map a little bit as a forward-thinking destination or a forward-thinking country that really thinks quickly and can adjust as quickly. We don't sit back and wait. We have to be innovative in what we do.
You just to clarify, you still have the 14-day quarantine in place, do you?
The 14-day quarantine is in place until the 15th of June right now.
Yeah. It seems to be a key date all around Europe is the 15th of June. Well, it does, except if you're British, of course. That must put a bit of a dampener on outbound tourism of the UK to Malta. In terms of Maltese tourism, you've changed your marketing strategy somewhat in terms of the products you're focusing on, in terms of exposing Malta to more than just architecture and food. Perhaps you can give me a little taste, if you forgive the pun, of what might be available if I was to visit Malta later this year.
Yeah, I think, we've taken a destination that's been known for a long stay, older generation because of the architecture and the history. And we've flipped it around and we've ensured that we make the architecture and history side of it more exciting. There's so much to learn and there's so much beauty. And I guess you can, the level of Instagram posts that you can have there. So that goes for the younger market. The beauty of the ocean, we've got a number of shipwrecks. So we're focusing heavily on diving, scuba diving being the number one spot for diving in Europe and number 2 in the world. As small as we are, that's quite a big impact. And apart from that, focusing on adventure. There's so much to do around walking and hiking, quad biking, and then we've got the festivals and events that we've had in the past that we focus on all levels, from music festivals right up to classical music festivals to Cirque du Soleil, which started with us last year, and marathons. I mean, Gozo, as small as it is, there's like a half marathon that you can run there and the full marathon on Malta. There's so much to do, which is why we kind of changed our hashtag in the past few months to hashtag more to explore, because you don't only need to go to Malta once to find something. Every time you go, there will be something different to experience.
And do you think this is something that will continue, this sort of change of emphasis to looking to a younger generation, rather than people like me sitting in a restaurant getting drunk all afternoon and enjoying the food and the architecture? There'll be a more vibrant feel to it. And also at the same time, in terms of where the tourism strategy goes, do you think there will be a greater emphasis on, on Maltese product, on Maltese food, and making sure that the benefit of tourism is held in the local economy, which is what most people are trying to do these days? And as a supplement to that, wellness, medical tourism, that was something that Malta was trying to push. I don't know where you are with that.
Yeah, so we will always welcome any level of tourist, any age group, so to say. I always believe the original tourists that used to come, so the older market, that can come for a longer period of time is always a low-hanging fruit for any destination, because they repeat it, so they will always come to Malta, and that, you know, you can never forget that. We do want to focus on the younger market as well, and we'll continue to do that, in that if you can get them and they fall in love with the destination, they will keep returning. My big thing is a repeat visitor is extremely valuable. And again, before all of this hit, we were definitely pushing wellness. We've got some amazing spa retreats. We've got yoga offerings, all that level of wellness side. We also, Malta is known with one of the best medical healthcare services and facilities, which has obviously helped us immensely with COVID. But you know, the medical tourism, that'll always be there, whether or not we grow it. You know, we are busy re-looking at our market segmentation at the moment and re-strategizing, particularly from the UK and Irish market. But yeah, we never know. Even with COVID, we might have a different type of traveller coming out. A different type of traveller might emerge from all of this, and this is why we kind of need to take a step back and re-look at how are we going to market Malta effectively in a new way to our core market being the UK and Ireland.
And it sounds a ridiculous question when we've got nobody going to Malta and no one coming out of Malta at the moment because of the quarantine, but is over-tourism something you're conscious of on the island?
I think we were almost getting there pre-COVID, but I think for now, you know, for the next 2 or 3 years, given we don't really know what's going to happen with the cruise market either, you know, that was a core thing, is the cruises coming in and spending the day around Valletta particularly. But I do think for the next few years, that's not really going to be on the list as a concern right now, because Malta's positioning means we rely heavily on air access. And with the airlines at the moment, you know, nobody knows how many flights are going to go back up into the sky. Nobody knows which airlines are going to fly to which destinations just yet. And if they're going to maintain the level of air access that each country and destination has had. So everything going forward relies heavily on what the airlines will announce regarding their routes.
Do you think it will be more expensive to go to Malta post-COVID than it was before?
Sure. Crystal ball. I think some of the airlines may well come in with, you know, the big flash sales to get things going. We do expect the luxury market to increase, and I think really around the fact that there has been the talk of the middle seat situation, which I'm not sure if that is viable or not for an airline. But in that sense, again, a destination on the ground, I don't foresee Malta increasing its prices heavily. I think special offers might well be something that we'll be looking at from the stakeholders' point of views. Again, getting there, it really depends on the airlines.
So a little bit more crystal ball gazing. Are you budgeting, and are your stakeholders budgeting for some return of tourism in this year, in 2020, or have you pretty much written it off and you're thinking, if we get a little bit, that's fine, but basically we're writing 2020 off and we're looking to 2021 now?
No, you know, our minister, who's been so amazing and proactive, has said that there will be a summer in Malta, and we are working towards that. This morning there was in the news saying that the airport will open on July 15th, and the Prime Minister will be announcing that in the next few days. So we do anticipate arrivals in July, August, September. We do think we'll get the back end of this winter sun. You know, with Malta having well over 300 days of sunshine, it's probably one of the most perfect winter sun destinations. So we do anticipate picking that up. The tour operators, I think the trade have been saying they are getting inquiries for late in the year, but obviously the inquiries are picking up for summer next year, because people have basically missed their summer holidays almost, in a way. So yeah, I mean, our marketing is focusing on the back end of 2020 and definitely focusing on 2021. And, you know, what if we get bookings any sooner, we will be absolutely delighted.
Good. Well, Tolene, I thank you for your time. I thank you for being on with us this morning. Best of luck with the future, 2021 and 2020 indeed. And I hope the airports and the processes of getting through airports and getting access to your country are settled sooner rather than later. But thank you once again for being on TravelMole with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Graham.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.